What a weekend for track and field. We had the Diamond League final. We had the Grand Slam, as well as a new 100-meter national record. Tate Taylor ran 9.92 in Texas. So a lot of awesome things. None bigger, though, than Kenny Bednarek running 9.79. We're going to go in-depth into some of the key things that stand out within his mechanics, some of the things he was able to execute at a very high level in order to run the 9.79. We'll go ahead and get right into it here. So you know me, I'm always liking to look at these steps, looking to look at the foot contact time, the turnover speed. So he took about 44 steps here. He ran 10.07 earlier this year at the Grand Slam in Jamaica. And at that one, he was a little bit over. It was like 44.5. And that's where the wind ends up helping. So you can see with the 9.79, he did have it wasn't legal. It was plus 2.4. Not a ton of wind, but it was enough to be able to make it so he got to the finish line with a little bit less steps, closer to 44 steps. And when you watch the timing of the foot contact time, he has a great foot contact time, 0.09, which is very, very quick. And he also gets very quick turnover speed. He's a little bit longer on the right side. If you look to see how he opens up the stride, his right leg has more extension on it. Left side, he does a little bit better job of getting right back down, a little bit more of a reach on the left. And so he has a little bit more time. So it's closer to like 0.30 with his turnover speed, or how much time the foot is spending off the ground on the left side. A little bit more on the right, maybe 0.32-ish when you go into when you look at the leg cycle. So again, it's how much time he's spending with the foot coming off the ground to then striking the ground. These are both very elite, 0.3, 0.32. A lot of times I'll see guys that are even closer to like 0.4 when I'm doing just like breakdowns of athletes. And so typically I'm telling people, hey, can we get that closer to like 0.35, get that a little bit faster there. So the fact that he's able to have such great turnover, he might even be able to have a little bit more length, and that would therefore cut down a step, maybe get closer to like 43 steps in the 100, and maybe a little bit longer with his stride could help him being able to make it, so then he's just able to go from point A to point B a little bit faster, because you can't really improve a ton within that great of a leg cycle, but you could, obviously we're always trying to look to see how can we get better, or, what are the techniques that can happen to run faster times. And to me, it would be a little bit more distance per step, which would come from probably just being able to maximize how much power we're getting into the ground. Because that 0.09, again, that's very quick foot contact time. If you can maintain a 0.09 foot contact with being able to generate more power into the ground, which would probably take a little bit more time, then he'd probably be able to cut down the steps, which to me would help in being able to decrease, I guess, the time. Now, when we look at the splits, I think it's crazy to see that he was able to get 0.82 in one of the splits. I actually don't know how accurate that ends up being, though, just because looking at like Brandon Hicklin ran a 0.80 split, which would just be a even crazier time. But he did a 0.9 when you look at Brandon Hicklin. He ran 0.9 from 60 to 70, and then 70 to 80 ran 0.8, and then from 80 to 90, 0.91. So that's a very big and very drastic change from one to the other. So it makes it seem like maybe these aren't 100% accurate, especially because he came in, 5th place. So to be running 28 miles an hour, which is faster than Usain Bolt, but coming in 5th place, it makes it seem maybe like they're not 100% truthful here. But with Bednarek, these look like they're a little bit more consistent. He's at 0.84, 0.82, 0.86, and that 0.82 would be low 27 miles an hour, which is a great time, or great overall top speed. And now it would just be if you can sustain that a little bit longer. He hit that at about 80 meters, but before that, 8.4, 8.6. I also wanted to get a bit into the block start here so we could see. I think he does a great job, and we could look at all these guys. Really, all of them do a good job being able to get the knees to come straight inwards as they're starting. I'd like this back view too, just to be able to see how they're landing. The foot gets a little bit wide with Bednarek as he's going and stepping there at that first step as he gets it down. He's the only guy that really does that. Everybody else keeps the foot a little bit more underneath. He gets a little bit wider there. I do like getting a little bit wider, getting the knee in, and then getting a little bit more out to the side, because I think that helps him being able to just get a little bit more momentum going side to side in the upper body. But it also doesn't look like he's getting a ton of side-to-side momentum. So it's funny that he's getting really wider with his feet, but he's not moving side to side. If you look at like oblique Seville, he's getting a lot of side-to-side movement in his upper body, but Bednarek is staying a lot more kind of calm and relaxed there. What stands out to me is just he doesn't get a lot of extension in his shoulders, and I think that helps him being very, very quick with his full contact time. Again, he was at 0.09 when we were looking at the numbers, and I think that the quickness there in the shoulder extension makes it so he gets the arms through very, very well, keeps a very strong arch. All these guys, whether they're a little bit flat-footed or not, their ability to strike the ground and really not lose any control. Look at this. Like, he doesn't have any drop in his ankle there. He just locks the ankle in, pushes right back off. That's a great view of how good and how strong he is in the foot, in the ankle. This is really what you want to be able to do. This is where plyometrics play a big part in, and even foot strength in general, because if you don't have that ability, then you're not going to be able to have the turnover speed or the power production capabilities in the feet. And this is why I say, he could probably benefit by generating a little bit more power into the ground, a little bit more force in the ground, because he has such strong feet that it will help him in being able to just pick up more distance per step, which, even Usain Bolt talks about that was one of his bigger strengths, was that he was able to cover 100 meter in 41 steps. And so while Kenny Bednarek might not be able to get to that level, if he could just shave off one step, I think that would make him get into the sub 9.7s, which is, probably his goal, or at least, closer to that range, to be able to go and win a world championship later on this year. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the information, click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of different coaching things as well. If you want to find out more about our breakdowns, our speed programs, we have links down below to find out more about that, and we'll talk to you soon.